Okay, Shalom, Shalom. It's the brother Kadash. Want to give our praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Now, this is a breaking news. This is breaking news, right? This is the World Economic Forum, right? And this is something I think it's still going on, right? And the world leaders get together and they kind of give you like a what's the thing that when the president gives you like a State of Union address or something like that, right? And they kind of do that about the world, and they give you insight on things that's going on in the world, and then a part of that they give you things that they are predicting. So pretty much what they're trying to do is they're trying to prophesy. Right now, we already didn't gave you the prophecies, right? And the prophecies have been given to you by the prophets of old in the Bible, and we reread them and we make them plain upon the table for you to understand them today, right? So I'm gonna grab a couple precepts and I'm gonna liken it into today, and I explain what I'm talking about when I get there, right? But even today, you see them, they're pretty much prophets of Esau, right? So what they're doing is, but this is the trickery. Now watch this. This is the fucking trickery, right? Because even though they're getting on the world, they call it WEF, right? And they're claiming to make predictions or prophesy things that's going to happen in the future. In reality, they're behind the things that's going to happen in the future because they're going to make them happen. See, that's the difference. That's what makes them not real prophets. Let me see. This what makes them they're not really real prophets, right? Now let's keep going. Right now, let's let this play.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it, right? So you see the computer and everything he's talking about. He's saying pay attention to a cyber attack. So we know when they're saying, look, there's probably an 80-90% chance that there's going to be a cyber attack. And he's going to tell you at what scale, right? We know that that's because they're going to make a cyber attack. They're really behind it, pulling the strings. But who's behind them pulling the strings is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Because this is all being planned to do what? To fulfill real prophecy.
Would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to
so he's saying a cyber attack so huge, right? A major cyber attack so bad that even everything we went through in 2019, 2020, 2021, right? All that stuff, it means it's not even, he said it's going to be like a minor thing compared to what a cyber attack could bring, right? Because I don't know if you know or not, but a cyber attack could take down all the electricity in a city. Right now, when the electricity goes out, that means your heating goes out, all your TVs go out. You're not going to be on Facebook. You're not going to be uploading breakdowns to YouTube, right? And transportation also goes out. When transportation goes out, some brothers got to go 10 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles to camp. It's a wrap. It's over with. You can't get gas out the gas pumps if the electric's not on to pump the gas, right? Hospitals go down. Your sanitation, with who's gonna pick up your trash, that goes out the window. Even with your water, the water plants go down. Right now, some things have backup generators and stuff like that, but for the most part, those things don't last for a long time. They may last for a month, 2-3 months, but eventually those things go down. So yeah, he's right. A major cyber attack, man, that could, fulfill Esau's plan. That could wipe out. Shit, if the cyber attack lasts for over 3 months, that could wipe out 80-90% of people in your country. In your country easily. All right, let's let this play.
Cyber attack.
You see that? Now, remember we said that they acting like they prophesying or they're acting like they're predicting, right? Which is the same thing, right? A future event to happen, but they're not. They're really behind it. So when they put these things, right, they're giving you a sign. So when he say, look, a major cyber attack, watch out for it. It may happen. We got an 80%. It's 80% chance that it's gonna happen, right? And then you see them put the United States, which is Mystery Babylon in the Bible, on the screen. He's sending you a sign, but you got to be able to put the pieces together of what? There's going to be a major cyber attack in Mystery Babylon in America that's going to take out all the lights, take out the grid. Now, it don't take a rocket science to know that. If you've been paying attention, being a watchman to, present events, then you know that all the airplanes were just grounded because of, they said it was like solar flares from the sun, but we know it was a cyber attack. It doesn't take a rocket science to put it together. They said different power stations been going on, but they said it's some man in some mask that's going all around. There's some that's good that was in Cali doing it, but there's some on the East Coast that was doing it, and they attacking these power stations. We know that those things are going out because of these cyber attacks. They just need something to blame it on, not to scare the people. And then even bigger than that, the Bible tells us, right? This is Revelation 16, right? And I'm gonna qualify it. This is verse 9. It says, "And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemy the name of God, which has power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory," right? Now watch this. It says, "And the fifth angel poured out his veil upon the seat of the beast," right? And we know the great horror sits on the seat of the beast, and the great horror represents Mystery Babylon, which is America, right? It says, "And his kingdom was full of darkness, and they ground their tongues in for pain," right? Because when the grid goes down and it is darkness, whether it be, that's why I'm qualifying it, whether it be from the nuclear missiles or a cyber attack, if you liken it to today, right? You're going to be having great pain. It's not just the lights go off and we're just everybody just living and we just ain't got light until the sun come up. No, it's a lot of things that people depend on to have to run, that runs off electricity, that people need just to be able to survive, man. Verse 12, 11, "And blasphemy the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds." So even when these things happen, right, they're not going to be repenting of their deeds. Now, if you look at verse 12, it says, "The sixth angel poured out his veil upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried out, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." So we know that that river's drying out because there's going to be a great war there, that the Lord is pulling the strings behind the scene to prepare it, that place, right? But that kind of gives you a clue of why is this kingdom going to be full of darkness, whether it be spiritual, but if you liken it, I'm qualifying it, if you liken it to actual darkness with the grid being taken down from cyber attacks, that's because you got one nation at war with another nation. See, when you put it all together, let's go back to Revelations chapter 6. So it's telling you, look, there's going to be war, and because of the type of war, these certain things are going to happen. So not only do you have to worry about military versus military, Air Force versus Air Force, and missiles and nuclear missiles, now you have to worry about a new war front, right, which is fairly new, which is cyber attacks. We ain't got to shoot a missile and kill 80-90% of your people by shooting all our missiles over there. We could just take your grid down and they'll die slowly from starvation, right? But the Lord's going to be there for the elect, though. So that's why we're doing this work today, stacking up in that spiritual bank. So when it does go dark, right, we just pray that the Lord will be there for us, to protect us, right? Here, this is Revelation 6, verse 10. "And they cry with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" So we praying. We can't wait for these things to happen, because that's going to bring our vengeance, right? It says, "And white robes were given to every one of them." This is talking about the elect. "And it was said unto them that they shall rest yet for a little season, to their fellow servants also, and their brethren that shall be killed as they were shall be fulfilled. And behold, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." Why is the sun becoming black? Because when these missiles come down, right? They look like stars. Like verse 13, it says, and the stars of heaven fell into earth. What is that? Is literal stars falling to heaven? No. I mean, falling to earth? No. It's the missiles. They go up in the sky, just like what's going on in Ukraine right now. All they see is things sprinkling in the sky, and then the missile come down and hit a target. Or they may see, like a missile intercept a missile in the sky, and you just hear a noise, and the next thing you know, you see like a star. You see a ball of fire. That's what the stars is talking about. These missiles and nuclear missiles coming down, hitting the targets, right? It says, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. But what happens when these missiles come down? Two things. It's going to take out the power grid because you have something called an EMP attack that is even better, even more destructive than a cyber attack, right? Because this blows up in the sky and then it takes out the whole grid, right? A cyber attack might take out parts at a time, unless they do a real major cyber attack, which I don't see how they would be able to take down the whole thing at one time, right? But because you got different power grids. I think Texas run on their own. Then you got the East and the West Coast. So we just got to wait to see, because the Lord can make it happen anyway. But when these missiles come down, there's a mushroom cloud that goes into the sky. And all that debris, all that smoke, right? Have you seen, like, in California, every year in California, they have these massive forest fires, right? Whether it be started by Esau or whoever, right? And when you watching those videos that people are posting and they're in California and they're close to those fires, right? What you see is the sky is pretty much, the sun is out because the sky be like orange, but it'd be like a tinted orange, and you just see a whole bunch of smoke pretty much blocking out the sun. That's what this is explaining. That debris, those mushrooms, that smoke, that fire goes up into the sky. So imagine a nuclear missile going off. How much smoke, or hundreds of thousands of nuclear missiles going off. Imagine how much smoke will go into the sky. And then that gets you to verse 14. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. So the heaven departed as a scroll. We know today, making it plain upon the table, that's a mushroom cloud, right? It looks like a scroll from a certain angle when it goes up after the missile blows up, right? And then it causes everybody to do what? Everybody want to run for cover. They want to run to a bunker. Verse 15, and the kings of the earth and great men and rich men and chief captains and mighty men and every bondman and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. We don't call it dens and rocks of the mountains today. We call it bunkers. So we don't have to listen to them make their evil predictions or boast of their heart's desire, really, but make it seem like they're on your side and they fear this happening. We could just get it directly from the Bible of the prophets of old, and the prophets today are making these things plain upon the table. We know the grid's going to go down. We know there's going to be cyber attacks. Something's going to turn off all the lights and the power, and then eventually the whole system, the whole beast is going to be turned off. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.